What evil did we do in this country that we have not had a solution to this matter? At times when you go out from nation to nation preaching, if not that we go with the mentality of, I am sowing the seed for deliverance for our own nation, you feel some shame. Like you have what to come and offer to our nation, what about your country? The devils come to steal, to kill, and these are human devils. Kill children in their sleep.
In their sleep. In their sleep.
If security apparatuses are helpless, what is the root cause? What is the role of a nation's leadership as far as securing lives and properties are concerned? Where are we? What are we actually? Where are we? The man who was talking to me the other day, he was a former DSS official. He wanted to go to his village. He said he was afraid to go because of how the road to his place is now. And that he started this car, it didn't work. He started another car, it didn't work. So he said, let him not go. Only for him to hear of calamity on that road that he would have passed. When will we have people in Senate, in House of Representatives, in Executive, in everywhere? When will we have people there that will have heart for people? When? That will sit up and make legislation that will eliminate the wastage of blood in this land. When? Why is blood flowing like water and nobody is saying anything? Where are those who have a stake in the destiny of this nation? Where are they? I told you I was so... My wife came to me, are you okay? Are you all right? I said, I'm good. It's just these killings. And he saw me on the phone talking to a village pastor in one of the villages that was ravaged, giving me the account of casualties, including casualties from his own. Why are the nations of the world walking? Other nations are walking. You go to Ghana today, is a destination for migration. Ghana was once here. You have the bag, they call Ghana must go. Ghana's currency now is almost 100 times Nigerians' own. How many times? And we travel all over the world as big men, shamelessly, to pretending over a nation that is almost at the brink of whatever it is. We have borne the pain of massacres in our nation. We bore the pain. I am not talking of what we heard about. That's our praying going there. I'm not talking of what we heard about. I am talking of what we are eyewitnesses of. I believe it was in the year of 2018, thereabout, where we went to Agatu. 2016, we visited Agatu local government on the 7th of April, 2016, after the attacks that claimed an estimated 594 lives across 32 villages in Agatu in Benue State between 21st to 24th February 2016. Think of it, 594 lives. Look at that. The ravages. That was devastation. Move fast. That was us there. We brought relief material. right? And all of that. Did medical outreach as well because of the ravages of the situation in Agatude. And then in 2018, we went again to Benue State for the mass burial of about 73 villagers hacked to death by marauding herdsmen between December 31st and January 2018 in Lugo and Guma local government. We were there for the mass burial. That was the what do you call it now? The reporting of our visit then into Benue State. That year, I came with a lot of anger, and this was one of the services that followed. Can you show us that clip?
Every lover of freedom, clergymen, whether of any religion you are, if you hate what is happening, speak out. The person that can wipe Christianity out of this country, they have not born him. They haven't born his father. Haba. Look at your neighbor, say we did. All you jihadists and all of you agents in places of authority and agents in the security and agents everywhere you are, hear me. What I am about to say, interpret it. There are some agents of the devil in this nation who want this country to remain permanently in sorrow. Some of them are in power. Some of them are in the security forces. Anywhere you came from, wherever your conspiracy came from, I am here to announce you came too late. We shall see the end of you. You shall not see our end. You shall not see the end of Nigeria. You shall not see the end of Christianity. You shall not see the end of the Middle Belt. Hey. We shall see the end of you.
We shall see your end.
From this moment forward, at all levels, God will begin to bury people. He will bury them. One by one. He will bury them en masse.
Nigeria shall be their graveyard. That was part of it. And then we continue. Now, so this matter we have been on need for years. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? It is our pain, it's our decree. It's not something we had, it's something we are in. And then what happened this year? 17th of June 2025 to commiserate with the state and victims of the Yelwata massacre that happened between June 13th to 14th, 2025. We were there. Look at the devastation. We saw fresh bodies, fresh dead bodies that we saw with our eyes. Went to the displaced persons at the international market in Makurdi. About 3,000 to 4,000 people were here that were displaced from that place. And then when we came, certain decrees were made.
Human life is valuable. It is valued.
Okay, this was before
valuable people. From the cradle, if you go to the hospital and you see how doctors battle to save the life of a newborn baby. One life, 1 day old. Professors of medicine, consultants, 40, 50 years, pediatricians, they are running, sweating to battle to save the life of one person. And then you have some placeless vagabonds, valueless non-entity, roaming from place to place, homeless, valueless, placeless, taking life away without qualms. We are going to ask the God to whom vengeance belongs to arise and purge this land of these valueless entities, these worthless entities, this generation of vagabonds. Father, clean the land.
Father, clean the
He will clean Nigeria.
Arise, Lord. Whatever you need
of your fathers, no devil or group of devils shall take it. Let me say that. The land of your fathers, no devil or group of devils shall take it. And then I sat down with a man. I sat down with a man, the president of EYN. Anybody from the northeast area? Reverend Daniel Mbaya. We were having our ministers, our conference last year. Our pastors were there. When he came with his team of people, pastors and ministers from his denomination, to tell us their plight and whether we can be of help to them. What is your plight, sir? He said they are dealing with 10,000 widows, widowed by terrorism, handling 100,000 orphans, orphaned by terrorism. He said they have a camp in Cameroon. Goza is completely, literally emptied. About 30-something thousand people are in that place in Cameroon, he said, and 18,000 of them are their members, all cleared from their fatherland. We started to assist a little bit, in little ways we can that I will not mention, to assist with the widows and assist with the orphans. And so, when it got to the neck like this, we have spoken, we have decreed, we are now going to set a watch. 168 hours of the week. Every hour, one person is on the watch. Every hour, somebody is on the watch. And we have been on. We started July 1. By July 13th, a notable person had died, who might be called a patron of terror. I'm not going to mention name. While it went on, we began to record some successes in the Northwest in military campaigns. We began to record some successes to the stage where we are now, where you all know what is going on right now. We are going to pray. Every agent of the devil in Nigeria, agent of bloodshed, you call them, they call themselves terrorists, they call themselves kidnappers, bandits, evil herdsmen from hell, or jihadists, and the collaborators of them, and the sponsors of them, and those who imported them to Nigeria. I have bad news for you. Your time is up. Stand up on your feet. Your time is up. Every day for the thief, one day for the owner. Your time is up. We have been praying, and we are not going to stop praying until the earth that drank the blood of innocent citizens drink your own blood, swallows you up. Importers of terrorists, sponsors of terrorists, collaborators of terrorists, sympathizers of terrorists, and the terrorists themselves. Get ready. It is your season of judgment. The land of Nigeria will swallow you up, and we shall have a nation of freedom. We shall have a nation where people can be free to live unto the God they want to serve. We can have a nation where everybody, and we are praying, there will be no hiding place for any devil, no matter how high or how low. No hiding place. Father, locate them, fish them out from their hideouts, and as they have caused sorrow, let their generation never know peace.
Anybody who is interested in the destruction of Nigeria, destruction shall never leave his generation. Whoever that person is, and wherever they may be in this world, whether in this nation, outside this nation, our history shows us that nobody who was ever interested in the destruction of this nation ever survived. I will not go into detail, but I know of a man called Gaddafi, who about the year of 2010, 2011, from his country was dictating what should happen in Nigeria. At a point, he suggested that Nigeria should be divided along religious lines. Anybody remember? And there seemed to be some suggestions that he could have had a hand in what was going on in this nation to destroy lives. Question is, where is he now? And how many of his generation? Where is he and his generation? I say that as a signal to anybody across the length and breadth of this nation, from every level, to decree anybody interested in the wastage of Nigeria, may God waste your life, waste your destiny, waste your generation. Somebody shout fire. Let me say two things before we pray, because we have a high level of ignorance. Number one, nobody has the right to take another person's life, whether it is in the name of religion, or in the name of politics, or in the name of cultism. Our constitution, the right to life, is guaranteed under the Nigerian constitution. Is guaranteed under section 33 subsection 1 of the 1999 constitution as amended. Section 33 says thus: everybody has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, whether in the name of religion, in the name of politics, in the name of religious war. No one shall be deprived of his life intentionally, save in the execution of the sentence of a court in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. Except he was convicted of something. But nobody from Nigeria and outside Nigeria is permitted to waste another person's life in any name. So I announce by the apostolic mantle of God upon my life, anybody wasting life, I announce to you, your generation is wasted, your family is wasted. Number two, whatever a person does to prevent himself from being killed does not amount to an offense. That is the constitution. Anything a person does in order to prevent himself from being killed, whatever it is not an offense. Section 59 of the Penal Code provides that nothing is an offense of which is done in the lawful exercise of the right of private defense. Nothing is an offense. Vigilante groups, hear the word. Nothing is an offense. Section 60 of the Penal Code also provides that the right of private defense extends to A, the defense of his own body and the body of any other person against any offense affecting the human body. B, the property, whether movable or immovable, of himself or of any other person. In other words, against any act which is an offense under the definition of theft, robbery, mischief, criminal trespass, which is an attempt to commit any of those offenses. Meaning is, nothing is an offense where a person is defending himself or defending another from being destroyed or being killed. So what is the useless nonsense about those who think they have the claim to take lives at will, and then they go unarrested and they go unharassed? The end of it has come. Somebody shout, enough is enough. What I read said, if the man killed somebody because they came to kill him, that the court discharged him acquitted. That devil is a bastard. In case you are saying, Pastor, but is it constitution you are quoting? Let's go to Bible. Take your seat. Genesis chapter 9 verse 6. Who whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be set. For in the image of God made him man. The killer is qualified for killing. Exodus chapter 22 verse 2. Look at what it said. If a thief be found, so let's generalize it. A thief is the lowest level. Kidnapper, ritual killer, assassin, hired killer, terrorist, be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. But that action was not an offense. He came to finish people, and the people he came to finish gathered and finished him. Those people did nothing wrong. Proverbs chapter 26 verse 27. He that diggeth a pit shall fall inside. Whatever he wants is given. He that rolleth a stone. Somebody say back to sender. Somebody saying you are quoting Old Testament. Let's go to New Testament. Revelation chapter 13 verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed. Whatever he uses to come to kill, with the same equipment he shall be attacked. Now see what the penal code said. It said the person is not only meant to defend himself, but any other person around. And you want to watch them waste your wife and children. They went into one house, they pulled out everybody, ripped women's pregnancy open, plucked out the eye of a little boy, and left him alive with the two eyes plucked out. Somebody say enough is enough. Say enough is enough. Did Jesus have anything to say about self-defense? Matthew chapter 26 verse 51. He said, and behold, one of them which were with Jesus stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Can somebody be following Jesus with his sword? Then said Jesus unto him, throw away the sword. He didn't read it well. Then Jesus said, how did you get the sword? Then Jesus said, I am surprised you are with a sword. Don't you believe in prayer? Anything people want is inside this Bible. I thought that Jesus should be surprised. That how can you be my disciple and you are carrying it in? He said, put it back. For this occasion, I am meant to die. So don't use it now. I say put it back because you may need it later. And I am not asking you to use it to attack people. I am not asking you to use it to fight people. But in case they come near you, take your seat. This is the worst one. This is the worst one. Luke chapter 22, verse 35 to 36. And he said unto them, when I sent you without pause and scrip and shoes, lacked ye anything? And they said nothing. And he said, but now, as I am about to go, then said, but now, he that has a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that has no sword, let him sell. Now let me make something clear. There shall be no war in Nigeria. There shall be, can somebody say louder, amen? There shall be no war in Nigeria, but no demonic vagabond, no demonic vagabond anymore. Somebody shout, enough is enough. As I am about to leave, and he didn't change that command before he left. After resurrection, he was on earth for 40 days. He didn't say to the disciples, I have resurrected now. What I was saying at that time, I was playing. Or I was saying it because I'm about to be crucified and I won't be around with you. He didn't reverse the decree. Sell the coat. The time will be coming where the sword will be more important than the garment. If the penal code, the constitution have said it, and the word of God has said it? Who is that devil? And who is that agent that is saying that we cannot say what God has said? Please, never go about deliberately looking for who to disturb or who to kill. Every murderer shall go to hell. The flames of fire. But he said, in case they came to kill you, you are not guilty for whatever happens to them.